We have a lot of controversy lately about statues. The main problem people have, the main controversy, is that we want to get rid of Confederate statues. A lot of people think those should be gone, and a lot of people think they should stay. The reasoning I hear a lot of people think they should stay is that it's part of history. You want to leave the statues there so you can remember what happened. You want to remember history, not just to learn from your mistakes, but so you keep it accurate. You don't want to forget all the wars, World War I, World War II, Vietnam War, and so on. And we have tons of statues and memorials to these wars and to the people that fought in them. Nowhere do you see a statue of a Nazi or Hitler or anything like that. So you have wars, and what kind of statues do you see, like I said, about soldiers and so on? Never bad guys. No Stalin, there's no statues of Mussolini, none of that. What about churches? You have angels, Jesus, whatever your religion is, you're going to have statues of that. Never bad guys. You don't see statues of Lucifer or Satan in a church. It doesn't happen. And guess what? They don't forget about the devil. It's a very popular topic in a church. You don't need a statue of a devil to remember the evils of the devil. You don't need a statue of a Nazi to remember the wars. And so there are statues. These are all statues. So when you look at all the statues, not just from churches, wars, civilizations, you have ancient Egyptians made one to all their gods and their crops and whatever the hell, just things that were good. If you have a statue of you, that means people love you, you're a good thing. So the problem is, Confederates have statues of the bad guys, the people were fighting on the wrong side of history. So people say, hey, let's get rid of these statues. When we went and liberated the people from Saddam Hussein, we went and we pulled down a statue. Bam, bam. Everyone cheered. There was no people saying, hey, we need to remember him. Everyone wanted that gone. When we took over Germany, we had what was called Directive 30. Directive 30 was to go find every Nazi statue, every memorial to Hitler, Nazi, or anything like that, paintings even, destroy them, take them down, and we got rid of all of them. Why do you think that was important? That was like the first thing we did when the Allies came into Germany and disbanded the Nazi regime. We got rid of their statues that fast. It was a very important thing because we didn't want statues of white supremacists standing over still the citizens that live there. Older civilizations, when other ones would raid other ones, they didn't keep these beautiful, amazing statues. They wrecked them. They knocked the penises off of statues. They broke the arms off the statues. It seems like very, very important to get rid of the bad guys' statues. In present day United States, we still have statues of people whose main goal was to divide the United States and their main goal was to have slaves. They're still standing there in front of black people whose relatively recent ancestors could have been slaves. That's like having a burning cross, like a KKK burning cross in your town, in all the towns, so we don't forget the KKK. That's actually a good thing for the KKK. They want those statues there. My family lived in Germany for several years. While I was there, our school field trips would go to concentration camps. There are still museums that can show you plenty of Nazi stuff. I've personally been to Amsterdam. I've been and toured the Anne Frank house after I read the book, or her diary. It's all there. There's plenty of reminders of the past. None of it's in public. Not one. Many cities and states have been working to replace or remove Confederate statues. Most of this seemed to start with New Orleans, and they started removing several statues, which caused a lot of uproar, protests, and so on. People wanted their statues there. One of the main reasons that the local officials there decided to take down these statues is because not only of the things I explained earlier of statues and how they honor things, and you shouldn't be honoring the bad guys, but these are the people who put the statues there in the first place, the cult of the lost cause. This group of people had this mindset, which has its own theme. They call it the lost cause, as a group of ideas, but there's people that really push those ideas during this time, and their goal was to put up statues. They erected many statues. Why would these people want to go out of their way to put up statues throughout cities? For the same reason the United States and the Allies were removing statues when we got into Germany and dethroned the Nazis. So these people, they endorsed the antebellum South and slavery and so on. They put up a bunch of statues to honor that. It's been some time, and now we're like, you know what? We should have took these down. Let's go ahead and do that. And now people are like, oh, it's part of our history. They need to stay there. Those people probably don't even know who made those statues and for what very specific purpose.